Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Okay, getting ready for my first day of class. I teach at Glendale Community College. I want you guys to pray that I stop making this one mistake in my life. And the one mistake is that I when I first moved to Phoenix 3 years ago, you may remember I kind of buried my head in both my work and also my art projects. And obviously, I was bankrolling as much as I could into the art projects. I have a dream one day of opening a jewelry store. You may remember when I was in Taiwan, I showed you guys a gold jewelry store that we have in Taiwan. My dream is to do one of those, but with bismuth instead, one of these days. And when I first got to Phoenix, I was so busy bankrolling all of that. I didn't really talk to anybody outside of my art projects and outside of my day job for close to about 2 years, if you can believe it. And it really hurt I've learned that it was not a good approach because it really hurt my career aspirations. Not having the right social connections can really stifle career aspirations. Now that I think about it, here's a case in point. You guys remember when I lost my home last Christmas time? What had happened was that I was living in a home with kind of a slumlord, and I lost it. I went out to my car. I just moved into another place, and thanks to my connections, what had happened was I made a lot of connections last winter. I had I had asked, you guys remember, I had set up a reward for anybody who could put me on a blind date. I knew in my heart of hearts that as soon as I went on that first date, one of two things would happen. Either I would go on that second date, or I would make a new connection and make new networking opportunities, right? And then potentially go look for that another date through that. I knew one of those things would happen. My own history tells me that, right? I've never been disappointed. I've never had a first date blow up on me of any sort. I guess I have dated people who ended up taking advantage of me, but you know what? Now looking back at it, I wouldn't want to skip those dates. If you could take me back to the first time I dated a girl who took advantage of me and gave me the option to not go out with her, I don't think I would take that option because a lot of good things flowed from the aftermath of that. Let's just put it bluntly. I don't like my mom keeps talking about when I was working on my PhD. I had a girl take advantage of me financially, and I lost $20,000 and I almost dropped out of school. I caught up on school eventually. Would I go back and delete that part of my life? Probably not, because that was a good experience. And it was after that that I did a number of things, both with my career aspirations and some personal life matters. Okay, so I had a feeling that it would turn out. Now, you guys may remember 2, 3 months ago, everybody here mercilessly made fun of that whole concept of paying somebody to set me up on a blind date. And then my friend at church, he took me up on the offer. Funny thing is, when he saw the reward, he hesitated on taking it. But I got to be a man of my word because I don't want to not give it to him. Something goes wrong with the connection. Then I'll always wonder, was it because I didn't do the right thing, right? So I gave it to him, and the funny thing is, he didn't know. He took it first, but a couple days later, after he had Googled how much it was a 1 kilogram silver bar, how much a kilogram of silver is worth, he said we need to talk, and he thought that. I guess he wasn't sure of my intentions and all that. And when I learned that he didn't even know what silver was worth, I said, you need it more than anybody else, right? And had he known, had this been some guy who instantly knew how much it was worth, oh my God, I have tons of silver at home, right? I know how much it's worth. Yeah, maybe he wouldn't need it so badly, right? Maybe somebody else would need it more badly than he does, right? But anyways, so I went on that date and then a few more, and I learned that she and I are more like lifelong friends, right? So I got both the date and the connections. So it was all good. And then actually, the place I'm living at is I met the owner of this place through her and her associates. So you see, it's already paying off. Had I not had this friend and had to go look for this home on my own, that would have been a distraction to my day job, to other things that I want to be doing, right? And so, unfortunately, burying my head in my job has kind of backfired. It worked at first, but in the long haul, it has really stifled my career growth. So when I get to campus today, I want to stop doing that. I want to network more with people. Yesterday, I don't think I went far enough yesterday. Yesterday, I sat down to talk to a girl who had an interesting subject on her computer screen, and I used it as an opportunity to introduce myself and all that. But I felt just short of asking her out on a date. We exchanged Instagrams, and that was a good practice, though. And give it another try today. And please pray for me. I think the reason I didn't do it yesterday was because it was at such a crowded. It was in the student union. There were other people around me, and I'll give it another try today. Uh, Anyway, please pray that I make the right connections. The other thing that you guys can pray for is that I find a rare coin on the ground when I get into campus. Right? Maybe it's a 1943 bronze penny. Maybe it's a 1933 double eagle. And earlier videos I asked you guys to pray that I find tons and tons of gold. But you know what? If I find tons and tons of gold on a college campus, it's not going to be easy to hide the fact that I found all this stuff, right? If it's one coin that I can put in my pocket and still continue about the rest of my day without, I'll probably just put it in my pocket, go on to my classroom as if nothing happened, and still talk to that girl at the student union, and maybe even ask her out on a date this time. And then go home and go and find out where to auction off this coin, and then maybe go visit the girl in Taiwan a few more times. Oh yeah, I want to talk about her as well. Had I not met that girl here in the US with the friend from church setting me up on that blind date, I probably wouldn't have had the courage. I've been having a lot of courage these last couple of days. Yesterday, I attempted to look up a couple of misconnections that I've had in my past. I want to make up for them. I just recorded a video about one misconnection that I might be able to locate today. I'm really excited about that. But there's another one and a funny story about it yesterday. What had happened was, toward the end of my time in Seattle, I had met a girl at the library, and I never got her contact information. And then COVID broke out, and I never saw her again. At the time, I was dating somebody else anyway, but I never saw the girl at the library again. And I decided I needed to find out about. I had a lot of courage lately. I Googled her name on a couple of different places, and lo and behold, there's this background check company that keeps tabs on people's names and phone numbers and all that. Got really excited, and I mustered up the courage to dial the number. And she picked up the phone, and I said, not her real name, but I said, Jane, you're not going to believe who this is after 4 years. Guess who this is? And there was a weird silence, and I gave her about 5 seconds, and I said, it's Andrew from the King County Library. You remember, how have you been doing since then? She hung up on me, and I thought, oh, I guess it didn't work then. But then she texted me and said, nice try. I know this is a scam. You're recording my voice. And I texted back and said, no, I'm sorry then. I had the wrong number. I had met somebody at the library just before COVID broke out, and I tried to Google the number. Have a good day. I'm sorry to bother you. She didn't believe me, though. And then she Googled my phone number. 2 months ago, I had been shopping on eBay when I got scammed and disputed something. And when she Googled my number, for some reason, it pulled up that person's profile. The guy had written a really angry response saying, don't do business with so-and-so, with phone number, whatever. And then the girl on the other end, the other person with the same name, said that she was going to call the FBI and all that. And I apologized again, said, I'm really sorry. I had the wrong person. I won't bother you again. Thank you so much for your patience. And she continued to ramble for quite a few texts. And so just a lot of courage to do these things. Today I'm going to talk to an old friend that I haven't seen in a little bit under a year. We used to go to a meetup every Thursday night. And there was a girl there that was really nice to me when I was having an awkward situation. And I had the audacity to return the favor by judging her for something that was outside of her control. Watch the last video. I feel really badly about that one in particular. The one in the library, I hardly knew her, right? And then there was another misconnection that I tried to make a move on. What had happened was, when I was 14 years old, I spent some time in juvenile hall. There was a girl that I knew as a result of that, and I emailed my old probation officer to see if she could help. I don't think she has any. She told me the records don't go that far, but just the fact that she would be willing to tell me records don't go that far indicated that she did some digging into it. So I'm glad, and she looped in quite a few people as well. I think the next thing I might try to do is to contact some kind of television program that handles this kind of stuff, right? Or maybe, if not a television program, even a local news outlet, especially for back home in this happened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? To tell my story about who I am today and where I was 23 years ago, and how this inspiration has been really helpful. Maybe even say a few kind words about Westmoreland County's juvenile hall, right? And the people there were really nice, right? While I was in detention, I also had to do some community service. The community service is actually where I really networked with the girl. I think we also saw each other in the juvenile hall as well. And maybe to talk about where I am today and how I need to thank her, right? All right. A lot of things have really materialized ever since. I remember when I first offered that reward for which the friend from church took me up on. Everybody mercilessly made fun of me. Even two of my students got wind of it. I got to thank them for not making too big a wave about it, but they came to talk to me about it, and I said, you know what, let's give this a couple of months. This is money that I have for this, and if it doesn't work, come on, we all buy a stupid lottery ticket from time to time, do we not? And I told myself, let's wait for the numbers to be drawn before we say anything about this. Now, fast forward 2-3 months later, and not only did the date go well, but then I got the courage to do whatever in Taiwan, right? And today I'm going to, when I get a chance to see those two students again, we go to a chess club in the campus. I'll probably bring up that, I found a new apartment through that as well. Lately the two students have been really embarrassed about even telling me that they used to feel this way, right? And also I always make sure to bring up that the friend at church got connected with investing in precious metals, and now he's investing in mining stocks on his own as well. And so it's all good. But even the friend at church, he warned me to not let the pastor hear about this, especially involving a date and making new connections and all that, because the pastor is going to be really upset. And so it's just really funny how sometimes the right thing doesn't go right with the culture, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.